the roots in the sky. So the roots in the sky and the roots in the ground keep the sky and the earth together. And it's because that happened that we exist. You know that planet Earth was forested for over very much greater extensions than now, and we are still cutting down forests at an incredible rate, and that is a suicidal activity. It's basically calcareous soil. I have seen cabbage growing in a very busy street in the sidewalk because a couple of stones fall out and the seed had fallen in there, and it took a car 3 months. It took 3 months before a car finally drove over it and killed it. But I mean, there was traffic going there, so the soil is basically very good. Lisbon has a problem; it doesn't have a lot of parks. It's not a green city, as you can see, as you have noticed while you're walking around. Which is a great pity because potentially it could be lots of wonderful parks. Also, because the configuration of the hills, there is a northwest wind that is very predominant here, and it is cold and dry. It's a little bit like the Mistral in the south of France. And because we are on the southeast facing slope, we are protected, greatly protected from those winds. So that's 3 good natural reasons for human establishment, for humans to establish themselves here. That tree was there, that Judas tree and the Bustrum was there, those 2 olive trees were there, and these 3 pines, pinyon pines, were here. The rest, there was nothing. So, I mean, there was literally nothing. It was just now, it is in bad shape, as you see, at the moment, because there are changes going to happen. So, it gives firewood, and if they grow straight, the wood is of a good quality. So, this is a useful tree. They have, you know, they have not been taken care of. They've not been taken care of, so they have stayed very low because of wind, basically. And farmers do it. They plant a tree, and it's not making fruit. So they go to the tree and they make it a wound in the casca, in the bark. They take out a piece of bark. And so the trees feel threatened. And because they feel threatened, they say, I have to reproduce myself. So they start making fruit. One thing you can do with the avocado tree is you go to the avocado, you take a big stick and you wham! Next year he will make fruit.
Yes, it's true. Because I have a friend.
You can talk to a tree. You can ask a tree questions. But trees, huh? And she answers. But they don't answer like you answer to me or I answer to you. No. It takes time. It takes time. In Holland or in England, you will find pear trees that are 100 years old. And they're big trees.
Wonderful.
They're wonderful, but it's, of course, because they're big, it costs money to go and pick them. So I want a miniature tree that and I can put it on the market. Yeah. So all those are commercial ways of thinking that influence what we see in the professional production system. Now here there is the possibility to make what we call a food forest. Now a food forest, this is a permaculture concept, is not that you have 25 pear trees, but you have 2 pear trees because you need pollination, cross-pollination. Yes. And you have 2 apple trees, and you have 2 nesperos, and you have 2 apricots, and you have 2 or 3 of everything. And the more difference there is between them, the better it is, because it means that you can, every week, you have some kind of product coming out of your garden. Instead of having to hire 6 people, pay 6 people to pick all your pears, and then for the rest of the year you have nothing. You have every week there is one tree. You say, we're going to have to pick these fruit now. 1 tree, 2 trees, you can pick them with 1, 2, 3 people with your family. You can pick them in 1 day. Done. Next week we got something else. So it means, 1, that you eat that what's fresh and available at the moment that it is fresh and available, which means that it is exactly the right thing that you should eat at that time of the year. That's what nature gives you. And since we are basically children of the trees, if you go to the tree and you eat the fruit from the tree directly, you're doing the right thing.
Yes.
It's making so much green, and it's not going to rain a lot. It can't feed all this stuff. Why? Why? Because it's too much. It's too much leaf. Too much leaf. I'm a little too low here.
It doesn't matter pruning it now.
No, it loves it. It's happy about that. It likes that. It's against the law.
Yeah. You should cut
It's
it
against
off.
the law.
Yeah, it's against the law. I mean, against the law of the fruit grower.
Yes, of course.
I mean, it's a natural law, but these are useless. See now, because I was looking at it, but I hadn't noticed that it came from down here.
But then if you grafted it, then you would have like a really good tree.
Yes, you can graft it, and if you want, you can graft it here. And you can graft another variety here, and another variety here, and another variety here, and then you have 4 different kinds of peaches on the same tree.
But it's too much energy for if you do all the grafts. No?
No. You can afford to do something like this. And what is this here? No, this is awesome. It's not graft. So I think that's very interesting.